with us. Just know we for real in love. We real people with real problems. A real marriage, but we gon' solve them. Love is love, so we keep evolving. And don't you judge, just keep on watching, okay? But keep it cute in the comments, though. Cause trust and believe we reading all the comments, though. And if you know one thing, we keep it 100, though. You rockin' with Brittany and Dorrie, the show. Let's go. Brittany and Dorrie. Brittany and Dorrie. Brittany and Dorrie. You're watching us. This is us. So what up, world?
What's up, you guys?
It's your girl Brittany
And Dorrie.
and we are
Brittany and Dorrie.
So we back because we got 2 people watching Noel. So what better time to shoot videos to give y'all a little bit of insight of kind of the behind the scenes of what we went through when we're at the hospital. So baby is about to give her postpartum.
Let's just kind of rewind them back to the day my water broke.
Okay,
Let's
bet.
start from there.
Okay, bet.
So that they can kind of understand the whole, it kind of just goes off with the labor and delivery video.
Okay.
We planned on talking about it with the video, but we never got to that
Yeah,
point.
we never got to sit down. Mind you, we have been trying to sit down on this couch for y'all for 2 months at this point.
Pretty much. So the day that we went to hospital was on a Tuesday, and
Right.
obviously my water broke that Tuesday. Wasn't for sure my water broke, but it obviously did break.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the hospital, and it got real, huh?
Real fast. Like,
Yeah.
it was the realest moment of my life.
Yes. So.
You feel like your water broke?
I think so, but yeah, I kind of think so.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the real deal.
Yes. So we get to the hospital and they say, okay, well you have to go ahead and pee in this cup. So I pee in the cup and it clearly showed that my water broke.
Right, because it was like stuff floating around in it, right?
Yeah. So after that, they took my blood pressure.
Right.
They said, okay, you're not going anywhere tonight, honey. You're staying here. We're like, okay, I guess this is really happening. So they took my blood pressure, you guys, and my blood pressure was high. And I was surprised.
Like high.
Yeah. And I don't remember what it was though, but honestly, you all, I've never had high blood pressure. There's only been a few times I've been to the doctor and they say, oh, your blood pressure is kind of elevated, but nothing high or ever really been high where I had to take medication for. So I was like, okay, maybe it's because I'm nervous, you know? So they get me all strapped up or whatever. They have the little cup on my arm and just kind of monitor my blood pressure, and pretty much it never went down.
Right.
From there, they had to insert something in me because they checked my cervix and I was only dilated like a fingertip.
Right, and it's like this little string thing.
They had
It literally looked like a shoestring that was like rolled up.
Yeah.
I had never seen it before. What is it called?
I can't remember what it's called. It's like, I think it's called like, it starts with a P. It's
Oh,
something to help you.
Pitocin.
Is it?
Maybe. I'm gonna try to get a picture and drop it
In
to
there.
the left or the right, somewhere, so y'all can see what it looks like. But again, it looks like a little shoestring, and I remember them telling her that
It's supposed to help me dilate, like kind of help my cervix expand.
right, because when you first, did you already tell them when you first got there what you were dilated at?
To a, like it was like a fingertip.
A fingertip. Okay.
Yeah, it
A
was.
fingertip.
It was nothing.
So we knew, even though that day was 2/2/2/2,
Yeah.
which was like obviously like people were getting married on that day. It was just one of those days that never fall. It'll never fall that way ever again.
Yeah.
So
Which was crazy.
we knew that we weren't gonna have the baby that night. We knew she wasn't coming on 2/2/2/2.
She wasn't coming that night just because I wasn't dilating, and they was like, well, you're gonna have this baby probably tomorrow evening.
Right.
So, you know, they said, get some rest tonight, which was still hard because they were coming in and out the room.
Child, they
Check
come
in.
in that room every hour on the hour, every 2 hours on the. It could be 2 in the morning. They gonna come in that room, and I'm just like,
Yeah, it was.
this is ignorant. I can't sleep.
Yeah. So then the next day comes about and they're checking me again. This is following.
Where did that came from?
The next day came about and they checked me again, and I was probably at a 2.
Barley.
If even they, yeah. So that whole day they were like coming in. They couldn't really check me often because kind of find out when your water breaks, they don't want to try to check your cervix often because they want to try to avoid any kind of infections that can
or bacteria that can get
harm
in there,
you or the baby. So they wasn't trying to check me. I kept saying, "Will you check me? Will you check me?" Because I was getting impatient. I was really, really ready for her to come. So then later on, they kept trying to, like, later on that day, a doctor came in there and she was just like, well, you know, I was just trying to see if, you know, you probably thought about a C-section. I was just like, I don't want to do this. This is not, she was like, I was like, I'm just not for it. It's just, I'm not saying I'm against it, but I want to be able to do what I can do first before I try to opt into a C-section because it's not the way I imagine giving birth.
Right.
So, I was like, no, not right now. So, so the crazy thing is though, like, the baby she was doing fine. Like her heart rate was up, everything was good. So it was like, what's the rush?
Right.
Only thing that was bad was the beds at this time.
Right. And one thing I didn't realize is, even though it had already moved on to the next day, I didn't realize as long as the baby is doing good, they're gonna let you stick it out as long as you can before they make you do a C-section. Because I honestly thought, man, if she doesn't come on Wednesday, we're gonna have to have a C-section. And I know babe doesn't want to have a C-section. So I was very grateful to know that Noel is a fighter, was a fighter, and she was in there straight chilling at this point because she was not.
It was really up to her.
It really, yeah.
It was really just up to her to come on down.
Yeah.
Another thing too, in the hospital, I could not eat. So I was on solids for how many days? 3 days?
We got
liquids. I was on liquids for like 2 days.
Yeah, because mind you, here's the thing. We showed y'all a video when Dorrie's water broke. We were literally at the house. I had to like really throw together a bag. I was cleaning up the house. Like even after I found out Dorrie's water broke, I started cleaning up the house.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't think she knew my water really broke.
It's not that I didn't, but it was just like,
we just didn't know. Okay,
let me go ahead and do this really quick. So if it is broken, when we get home from the hospital, things will be the way I want it to be, which is nice, neat, clean, lines up in the carpet, because I done vacuumed, I done wiped stuff down.
And it was.
It was.
Yeah, it really was.
But long story short, we obviously pack up. We had already had Dorrie's bag ready, already had Noel's bag ready. So we go ahead and get in the car and we're driving to the hospital. And I'm thinking, babe, one thing I've heard from several moms is they say, eat before you go to the hospital. So what did I do?
Stopped at Whataburger.
I stopped at Whataburger. Mind you, I just got on Whataburger just because of Matt and Kimmy. So I stopped at Whataburger, got us something to eat, and thank God that I did. Because had I not...
I barely ate.
You barely ate, but you still ate.
I think I was kind of nervous.
Yeah.
But I was nervous, but I wasn't nervous, but I was nervous enough that I couldn't eat.
But imagine not have eaten even a little bit of that.
I know. I think I had like a few fries and like a bite of the burger maybe.
Yeah.
Because I even let you put mayonnaise on the burger.
Yeah. Because we shared it. I don't know why. Because
Yeah,
we shared that bill.
Yeah. So after that though, they was like, I could pretty much at the beginning, all I drank was like water, I think, or ice cubes. Or
yeah,
like that.
I don't know why they wasn't giving you soup yet.
Or anything like that. So I was just.
I didn't even realize you could have that until they actually started to bring that in on. That was like the day of.
I was like, I need something, but I held it out. I had the liquid, and I was good.
Yeah.
So we are on a Wednesday. Wednesday goes by, no baby.
No baby. Not. I think you dilated up to what, 4 on Wednesday?
No,
not even.
Not even 4. I remember. And at this point, you guys, I am in the bed. I am on bed rest at this point because my blood pressure was high, so they put me on magnesium as well. And I could not leave the bed. So that was another thing too, you guys, because my blood pressure was high. They kept putting me on magnesium, kept giving it to me. So that was on Wednesday. I think the last time they checked me that morning, on Thursday morning, I think I was at a 3.5.
Yeah.
And then.
And at that point, when we say the morning, I think it was like 5
o'clock in the morning.
It's like 5 in the morning because again, they're coming into the hospital room every hour, 2 hours to check on the baby, check on Dorrie.
And change because I couldn't get out of the bed, so they had to change.
Oh, sorry, I just got kind of nauseous thinking about it.
But
because they have to like change the pads because her water is broken. It's like
even they had to put the catheter in me as well, so I couldn't use the restroom. They had to just go come in there and drain it. So every time it was like the lady said, "Your kidneys are good because you were flushing out all of this stuff." But all I had was liquid, so like pretty much. You don't know when you're using the restroom, and literally, I guess I was going right because it was filling up like this. Yes. So, but I remember the lady checking me, and I was like a 3.5. So I remember that morning, the nurse came in there. This is
Thursday morning.
Yeah, and she was my favorite nurse. She was my favorite nurse. But she was like,
"Shout out to you, Amanda."
Yeah, but she was just like, I guess on her way to the hospital, she was like, I pretty much we had a team that was rooting for us, you guys.
Right, because we were in there for so long. We had nurses that we would pretty much see daily at this point.
Yeah, and they were like, she was like, I was hoping, before I got in here that she was dilated more, but so have you thought about a C-section? And I was just like, I don't know, I really don't know. She was like, I mean, are you against it? I'm like, I don't want it for me. So I remember them leaving the room, and I remember I started having tears coming down my eyes because we started talking about maybe possibly just going ahead and having a C-section. But when I tell you, baby girl has been strong, like she's literally the strongest baby ever. Like seriously, like from the moment. See,
are you having a contraction?
No, I'm just getting emotional.
It's okay.
But I don't want to get emotional because I want to stay. I just want to stay positive and in good spirits.
I remember that.
I was really, really afraid to have a C-section. I was just like, this is not the route I want to go. And I was like, but I ended up texting my sister and my mom. I think they both was just like, you know what? If that's what you got to do, just do it. And I was just like, okay, you know what? It's not about you, Dorrie. And I think I was having a C-section. I was making it about me, even though it was, but it wasn't.
My best friend here. You can keep going.
Even though it was, but it wasn't, because I was just like, I don't want to see section.
Girl.
Oh, that's so cute. Hey, oh, y'all were filming? Yeah, it's okay. This is for you. Thank you.
Rowan Cameron.
Yeah. Oh.
Let me see your phone real quick. You can keep telling your story, but I want to see her seeing Noel.
So I cried, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do the C-section if I have to. And then Brittany came back upstairs because she was downstairs eating breakfast, and I told her, I said, I'm going to go ahead. If I don't dilate anymore today, I'm going to go ahead and have a C-section. And I was like, I can't cry because I was so stressed out, and my blood pressure was high. I was just like, you know what? I have to not overwork myself and be stressed out and be sad about it because I need to be in a good state of mind and health for Noel, that I was just like, you know what, this is just what it's gonna have to be. Luckily, around 1 o'clock or something like that, I was like, I was at a 7. And my nurse was like, you know what, it's go time, you are having this baby. So, hold on, I can't do this without. Oh my God, you see her? You ready?
Yeah, well, I'm ready.
Creed, stop.
Did you finish it?
No.
You got 2 ounces. 2.5. Hi. Your eyes are so pretty.
But I talk about my epidural too.
What?
But I talk about the epidural.
What about it?
I forgot to bring that up too. So I had my epidural on. What day was that?
Somebody missed me. She couldn't finish.
I couldn't. I didn't jump ahead. But y'all, so anyways, I got my epidural on Wednesday. So we gotta go back to Wednesday. I got my epidural, and when I tell y'all, that's one of the things that didn't hurt at all.
Right.
People always try to scare you about the epidural and the needle being this long. I did not feel it. I don't even know what to put in my back or anything like that. I just know that I couldn't look at the needle. She couldn't look at the needle, but I just had to kind of bend over, hold the pillow. She had to be in front of me, and he put the epidural in me.
Right.
Mind y'all, I still could feel everything.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, the epidural didn't take to the left side of Dorrie's body.
Yeah, for some odd reason. They say sometimes if you get it too early, because I think that night, I got on Wednesday night or something like that, and they say sometimes it kind of wears off.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have possibly been it where it like will wear off a little bit, even though you can still inject yourself with some more and more.
Mm-hmm.
It still was just like not numbing the left side of my body where I was in so much pain.
Y'all, now
So
let me
much
tell
pain.
you about Dorrie real quick. She is like she's anti-medicine. Like prior to pregnancy, she's anti-medicine. So they've already told her with, what is it called again?
Epidural?
Yeah, with the epidural, that you cannot give yourself too much. No matter how much you click it, you cannot give yourself too much.
Mm-hmm.
And they also tell you, even the nurses, that Dorrie has to be the one to click the button. Even if they come in,
like no
they
one can
won't click it. She has to be the one to click it.
Which a nurse did click it one time. I ain't gonna tell you who it was, but they did.
However, this crazy girl was not clicking it. Like,
Well, I was so out of it because when they put you on magnesium as well, like you're loopy to the point where they'll keep coming there, and I have high blood pressure already, so they'd be like, "Are you, dizzy? Are you, is it blurry? Are you seeing dots?" And I'm like, "But shoot, be honest, it is kind of blurry." But I didn't want to tell them that, but it was like I was so loopy and so out of it from the magnesium that I don't remember half the things that they were telling me at the hospital.
right. So
What
I
was
would be
going
like,
on?
babe, if you're in pain, click the epidural.
Which
That is
I
what
ended
it's
up
for.
doing, and
Even
it
the
still
doctors
did
would
not
come
work.
in and be like, "Are you clicking?"
I
it?"
did eventually, babe.
But I had to be like, "Girl, click the button. You're not gonna die."
I did eventually start clicking it, and it still did not work for me.
Right.
So I even was fussing at you because I was like, the nurse is telling you to push on this side, and you was being so soft. And I was just like,
She's like,
yeah,
"You're not pushing hard enough." I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna let you have this moment."
Yeah.
Because Coella was coming out, okay?
Okay.
The bill.
Yeah, she was coming. So fast forward to Thursday or whatever, I finally dilated to a 7, and my nurse was like, "You're having this baby naturally. You're going to be able to push this baby out." So we're super excited, happy, ready to go. And I don't feel like I was nervous or scared at that point.
No.
I think I was just so ready to get her out of here. Like,
By that point, yeah.
yeah. So it was super simple, easy. I think we played some music, got into good spirits.
I played a little gospel music. I was
Uh-huh.
playing songs
that
with
had
baby in it.
Yeah.
You'll never forget me dancing in the living room.
That's so funny because I literally say that to people all the time. I'm like, if you want them to sing for you, dance for you, and nobody's ever done it. So I'm like, you win.
This is what you feeling.
I'm feeling it all. I'm just like, come on. You know?
Mm-hmm. You feeling that pressure? You feeling that pressure, baby? It's coming.
So finally, guys, it is go time. The doctors come in. It's like Grey's Anatomy on 10. Real life is happening. She is about to come.
Right.
So they come in there, put their mask on. Doctor comes, sits down. They put the mirror in front of me. They tell babes get on this side, the other nurse get on this side, and it's time to go push.
Right.
How was that for you?
That was,
Interesting?
yeah.
As a girl?
It wasn't too bad. No, I stopped looking at the mirror because when you look at that mirror, you literally,
I looked at the mirror the entire time.
I couldn't do
I
it.
never took my eyes off the mirror. It was not that bad. Like, it's not as bad as people make it seem.
Yeah, but you know me, I got a weak stomach. So it's like I could only take it in doses. So I tried to just focus on Dorrie, telling her to push. And then a few times I would glance over and see Noel's head kind of protruding out. And then I would have to look away because...
Yeah, it was coming out. But y'all, I probably only pushed for 5 minutes. So you push every time a contraction comes. So I probably pushed like 5 times, to be honest.
Mind you, I didn't know that. Obviously, I've never watched the birthing
I didn't know that
video,
either.
But I didn't know you only push when you're contracting.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until they was...
Hindsight 2020, that makes sense. Duh.
Yeah, and now I understand why I tell people to work out the whole time, because literally it's like you're running a marathon and you gotta go, you have to breathe a certain way. So you really should work out so you can like build up that stamina.
There you go.
Stamina.
Stamina. Yeah.
So you can like build it up, because you really, really need it. Because I was like, it's like, gotta hold your breath, and then you know what I'm saying? It was just a lot. I was like, I can't hold my breath anymore. It was so much.
Mind you, they don't even want you pushing when you're not contracting. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
But because you have to push for 10 seconds, what was crazy is it's literally like push and they count to 10. Mm-hmm. And it's such a long time. 10 is such a long time when you're pushing.
Yeah.
Feel it when I feel it. You ready? Big breath in. And go hard. 1.
Good job,
2,
good job.
3,
Hold it. There we go,
4, just like that. 5.
Go.
She's coming. 6, 7. Keep hold that push. 8, 9. More. 10. And breathe and go. Go. You got it, Mama. Go. She's coming. Ready?
Push.
Go. Push. Here she comes.
Yeah, I'd be like so out of breath.
By the time they got to 8, you was getting weak. You was like,
but your girl pushed for 5 minutes and she was out of there. Okay.
up out of that thing.
So yeah, it was beautiful though. She came up out of me.
Right.
Then they, pushed on my stomach, delivered the placenta and all that kind of stuff, and then we had a baby.
We had a whole baby.
Yeah.
A whole 5-pound.
So so with all of this, like, what was the biggest thing though? Like, what was what do you take from it?
What's the question? I don't get it. What are you trying to say? What's the question?
What's one of the things that you will like remember from all of this?
I think the main thing that I'll remember is just how strong you were. I've always known you to be strong, but I walked out of that hospital with you on the 6th day knowing that you are just as much of a fighter as Noel, and you're just strong.
Mm-hmm. And I think she's getting that because pretty much after I delivered Noel, my blood pressure never went down. Mm-hmm. We had to stay in the hospital for 2 more days outside of the delivery because they could not get my blood pressure to go down. I had to literally beg them to get me out of the hospital.
Pretty much. So if you don't know the official term, when your blood pressure peaks during pregnancy or during delivery, it's called
Preeclampsia.
Preeclampsia.
Yeah.
So basically what that is Dorrie never had high blood pressure a day in her life. Yeah. And then the second she went into labor to deliver Noel, she automatically had high blood pressure and it could not be under control. Yeah. Like every time they would come into the room to check on her, they were checking her blood pressure and it was always high.
And after you deliver the baby, they usually say that it levels out, it goes away. But since mine didn't, I had postpartum preeclampsia as well. Which
kept us in the hospital because they won't let you leave the hospital if you have high blood pressure or anything stemming from the delivery of the baby. So
and I'm glad they didn't. Even though it was stressful, I'm glad they didn't. Yeah. Because hearing about it now is really, really dangerous. Like, it can cause brain damage, stroke, heart attack, all those kind of different things. Yeah. So it's really not healthy for, it wouldn't have been right for them to let me out of the hospital. Yeah. Well, no, that is funny though, because I was so stressed out that they'll take my blood pressure on one arm and I'll be like, okay, it'd be high. And I'm like, okay, take it on this arm.
Like, literally, she would be talking to the nurses like, okay, I didn't like that side. I'm gonna need you to take it on this arm.
And I even had to tell her at one time she came in. I said, I need you to come in here with like some more because she'll come in and she'll be like, all right, I'm here to take your blood pressure. And I'm like, I need you to kind of get a little bit more excitement to it. Like, help me feel better. Because at this point, I'm down and you coming in here sounding down. Right.
And then it got so bad, we were so ready to go home that Dorrie was blaming her high blood pressure on when the nurses would knock on the door.
Oh, yeah.
She would make it seem like that would make her
It would.
tense up and stress out.
It would.
So she had them put a note on the door. Please do not knock. Just walk in. We was just ready to get out the hospital at this point. So they typed up this letter, put it on the door. So they were just kind of coming into the room at this point because Dorrie swore.
Every time they knocked, my heart would jump. Every time, I swear to God, every time they would knock, my heart would jump. And I was just like,
and that's what would cause your heart.
Yeah, I don't need to know. It just stressed me out. So I said, do not knock anymore. Just come in. Just come in. That's all y'all need to do. And take my blood pressure.
Yeah.
But I finally got to get up out of there.
Finally, 6 days later. All right, so at some point, they finally take Dorrie's final blood pressure reading, and it's decent. Enough for us to go home. We literally convinced the doctor that, listen, it's Sunday. Dorrie has a doctor's appointment on Monday with her doctor already set up. So can we just go ahead and go home? We're going to be keeping an eye on her blood pressure. They put her on medication, literally like we had to leave the hospital and pick up blood pressure medication for Dorrie. Mm-hmm. So, great. We think we're in the clear. We got the readings. We all excited. Let's get out of here. Mind you, Noel had already been technically discharged the day before because we thought we were going to get to go home on Saturday.
Not at all.
Not at all. Mm-hmm. Not even close.
No.
So even though Noel was doing fine on Saturday, by the time it got to Sunday for us to be discharged, they pretty much had to run a few tests on Noel. Ooh, she not excited.
Okay, we'll wrap it up.
We gotta go.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
you're okay. I figured it out. Okay, so they had to do a test on Noel because pretty much she kept dropping in weight. So come to find out, the reason why she was dropping in weight is because she wasn't getting enough food from me. And they didn't realize this until the day it was time to go because they ended up doing like a sugar test on her. Mm-hmm. And hers was super low. So we had to do like 3 tests on her. We had to feed her, do a test, wait an hour, do it again, and do it again. So then we had to pretty much keep doing it until her sugar got back up, and then they let us go. So, yeah, it was a lot. But
and Noel had been breastfeeding the entire time. No formula, nothing. So we didn't find out that Dorrie's breast supply wasn't enough until the final test, which means they made us supplement her with formula. Mm-hmm. So that was a thing because they brought in a pump and we realized that Dorrie wasn't even producing enough via the electric pump.
Nothing coming out.
None was coming out. Mind you, Noel was on them. She had latched fine. She was on the boob fine. This entire time, we had been in the hospital 5 days. And Noel's cluster feeding. She's eating. So we think. And then again, by the time they took her weight and her blood sugar, they realized that she wasn't getting anything. So it was nobody but God that we technically were stuck in the hospital for that long because we had no idea that Dorrie wasn't even producing milk or enough milk for Noel anyway. So count it all joy, even though we were mad and ready to go. It was nobody but God and just holding us there to make sure we did not leave the hospital without being fully prepared for Noel because we ended up having to get formula, and then the next day I had to go pick up some more formula for her.
It's been a lot because we're still supplementing.
We're still supplementing formula. And baby's pumping a little bit better now, so it's happening.
It's a little bit of both.
Right.
So we have a healthy baby girl.
Yes,
it's all good, and we're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get out of here because we got to tend to her. So with that being said, 2 videos in 1 sitting. So it's your girl, Brittany.
And Dorrie.
And we are Brittany and Dorrie. Peace.
Stop what you're doing, hit the subscribe button. And if you've been subscribed, then you've been riding with us. Ain't nobody gonna hold you down like I do.
Stay true to you like I do.
Spoil you like I do.
Adore you like I do.
Clean for you like I do.
Cook for you like I do.
Ride it down with you.
Ride it down with you. And that's why I said I